I'm here with Kate and Joe from McLaren and Entain, and we're just here to talk about an internship program that the companies are running jointly to basically get more women into STEM, specifically into motorsports and engineering.
I'm Kate. I work within the people team here at McLaren Racing, and myself and my team look after 4 different verticals across the whole of McLaren Racing and our race series, and I'll come back to explaining that a little bit more later. So the first is diversity, equity and inclusion, hence why we are where we are today and talking about this topic. But also early careers, which obviously comes together really nicely. Development, so from a professional skills development, management development, leadership development, and then well-being from a physical and mental well-being perspective. As a high-performance sports team, that's often a performance differentiator for us. So really kind of core element of that world. So how are we diversifying the workforce and inspiring underrepresented groups to come into motorsport? How are we ensuring that the culture and the environment that we have here is one that enables everybody to thrive? And how are we constantly looking at our processes and our policies to ensure that we aren't putting any blockers in place and we are actually actively encouraging that talent through? But we also then have our role influencing the sport more broadly across motorsport. So how do we work with the management teams to consider how do we drive real change across that landscape?
So my name's Jo Bleasdale. I look after internal communications, D&I, employee engagement and employer brand within Entain. So we've got just shy of 28,000 people globally in a huge variety of roles, very much a technology and entertainment company. And we've really excited to be here actually today to talk about this partnership with McLaren, because it's been a long time in kind of forming, and we're really excited that the applications are now live and out there. I mean, our diversity and inclusion goal within Entain is to attract, engage and retain the very best talent. So we're bringing the best thinking inside and outside of our sector into our fantastic company. And very much our ambition, very much sharing with Kate, is we want everybody to feel respected, valued and included within Entain, and programs like this returnship program that we're going to be talking about are hugely important, and not just from a storytelling perspective, but for those that already work for Entain and McLaren respectively, and those that are thinking of joining. And I think it's a huge opportunity to attract new talent, and for those that have maybe kind of pressed pause on their careers and really looking at the STEM audience at the moment.
So the audiences that we are looking to attract are those who have taken a period out of work for any number of reasons, caring responsibilities, childcare are often some of the reasons, those that are looking to reskill. So perhaps are looking to come into tech, so have gone through a boot camp or have done some studying alongside their current role and want that kind of entry into the industry, but also that recognises the wealth of experience they may have brought from a different area or expertise. And then finally, those that are probably underemployed, so perhaps have come back into the world of work but don't feel like they're able to show their true potential in their current role. Both organisations do some amazing work inspiring young women through, whether that's going into schools, universities, and the work we do there, and that's pretty common across the whole D&I landscape. But actually we saw an opportunity to target this pool that is less talked about. There are less streams coming into organisations, and I think the unique proposition for us was to organisations hosting something truly unique across both of our worlds that offers not only an amazing opportunity, but a really unique one with a plethora of skills that an individual can learn over that period.
There's a lot of fantastic work happening with companies across the world, and it was really important to us that we not just said that we wanted to do something, but actually doing something and making it accessible, and something that runs through, I think, all brilliant diverse programs is you're not going to believe what you can't see. And it's really important that we create opportunities that people can join no matter who they are, you know, where they're from, what they do, and it's kind of creating that feeling of belonging in an organization, that it's not just attracting certain audience, but it's how they belong once they're in the organizations, how they're supported, how they feel they can be themselves. And I think there's a number of programs that, you know, both companies have within the company, but it's a cultural piece. It's, you know, how everybody is moving, you know, throughout life, and the changes, and you know, certainly the working landscape today is very, very different from when I started out in my career, and it's all for the better. You know, I think it's, you know, just really important that we give people every opportunity possible to be themselves at work and to do their best work. And I think that's only going to be mutually benefit for everybody's customers, and, you know, for how we are in terms of being part of a team in any business.
There are 10 returnships, as we're calling them, on offer. So 5 will be placed within McLaren Racing and 5 within Entain. And we have host teams in a real range of different disciplines across engineering, data, tech, so whether that's a technical analyst to a software engineer to a design engineer. There's real flex really in terms of the talent pipeline that comes through and where we can host them. So that's the first thing. We can really nuance the program depending on who comes through our application doors, so to speak. And they will come in for a 6-month period and work within those teams in a very true role in those environments. But at the same time, we'll complete a project for the mirror image organisation. So not only are they getting experience within one business, but they're actually kind of getting exposure, coaching, mentoring, and learning from the other organisation as well. And alongside this, we will have a range of, I guess, support mechanisms in place. So whether that's nuanced inductions to support individuals coming back into the world of work, right? We know that often the return to work can be a very difficult, challenging, nervous time for people to navigate. So making sure we wrap our arms around that and give them the tools to support them, but also mentoring and buddies within the roles as well. So guiding them on their future careers. And ultimately for us, we putting them into true roles that deliver real impact for both of our organisations. And the win-win for us at the end of this is ultimately if we can pipeline these people into the organisation longer term, right? So that's the ultimate win. But I think the other thing that we want to do with this programme is give that opportunity to individuals who can then utilise that to go somewhere else, right? But also how do we just raise awareness of this talent pool that isn't talked about quite so much, and to really showcase what they can bring to an organisation in terms of the plethora of experience that they may have already.
How are we going to welcome this cohort into the organisations? How are we going to make sure that they've got the right support that's going to reflect their needs, and we can anticipate their needs and kind of, you know, adapt to the individual personalities of the women that are going to be in this great group, and how we're going to be supporting each other. And I've not actually seen so much attention to detail go into a program like this before, and I think it's terrific. And it's going to be the lucky those that are going to get through the application process are going to have a really fantastic experience. And there's so much that has gone into thinking about their experience, but also, you know, as Kate said, like it's not, there is absolutely the opportunity for some brilliant roles at the end of this, but it's also about how we're inspiring future generations. And, you know, I think this is just the start in terms of additional partnerships and where we can go.
So I think there's those regular touch points that we can capture that at the point at which that experience is probably being had. So rather than waiting, to your point, at the end of the program and just talking about it, you know, within first week one, within their first month, you know, how is it feeling to land? What are some of the challenges they're facing? How are they feeling? And what else could we dial up? And for us, you know, we want this to be a program that has, you know, annual kind of a cadence around it. So we will have those checkpoints as we work towards designing the next kind of iterations to then fold in, okay, well, what were the lessons we learned from cohort 1? how are we adapting that to the way we recruit, onboard, develop, set up the team and the leadership for success as well. We have a very kind of white glove approach to the programme, of being very accessible to the cohort coming through, and spending a lot of time learning from them. Ultimately, we're coming into it with a learning mindset.